Hi, I'm Julie Holmes, and I am an AI strategist and keynote speaker. I spend a lot of my time working with organizations, big and small, helping them to envision what the world will look like in the age of AI, including how they can leverage it more effectively to save time, sell smarter, serve better, but also how leaders should be thinking about and addressing the AI opportunities and challenges within their organizations in order to get the most from this technology going forward. Yes. So the title of my keynote is Upgrade, Unlocking AI's Potential for Business Analysis. And I think probably the best way to describe it is that it's about thinking how to approach AI from an empowerment perspective. So everybody is going to be using AI if they're not already using AI every single day. The challenge is, or the opportunity is, how do you use it smarter and how do you become empowered by it rather than outsourcing your thinking, your expertise, and the value that you bring to the organization with AI? So how do you use it to support you so that you can get the most output and the most benefit from it rather than just replacing you? Well, from a day-to-day perspective, AI has huge opportunities. Few things can crunch numbers at the speed or aptitude that AI can demonstrate. What's interesting is not so much about what AI can do on a day-to-day basis, which is substantially save time, but also to identify outliers and opportunities. But what AI isn't doing isn't necessarily the things that business analysts are so incredibly good at, and that is navigating stakeholders, identifying the questions that need to be asked, and to guide AI to deliver all of that data in the right direction and with the right framing. That's the part that AI can't do, and that's why BAs have so much opportunity when it comes to working with AI to supplement their expertise and their partnerships with their stakeholders. Well, I think most of us don't know where everything's going to be in 5 years. The exponential curve of information and technology is substantial. So we're seeing, massive changes all the time. But even if we were to kind of draw that back in and say, what does it look like in a year? Well, there's a couple of things that I think are really important for the BA community to consider. One is, yes, it's going to be able to crunch numbers in a more critical way. I think that the role of a business analyst will also become that of a data strategist. And so as a data strategist, that means that BAs will be more responsible for ensuring the integrity, the completeness, the validity of the data that they work with. We do want to make sure that, as we're gathering more and more data, that we are using the best possible data and that we aren't just capturing more information, but that we're capturing information that's ultimately going to add value to the organization. So certainly the data side of it will become more important. I think the other piece of it that will become more important is, yes, this technology will speed up analysis, and yes, it will help us to see things that we might not have been able to see otherwise, which is incredibly valuable. But the piece that's still going to be missing is helping organizations to navigate that data. So what does that data mean, and how does that data apply to the organization, and how do we action that data? It isn't enough just to have information. We need the insights, but we also need the application. And so I think that business analysts in the coming years are going to become advisors more than analysts. Their job won't just be to analyze information, but to advise on it. Okay, so if we're thinking about how AI can make things easier on a day-to-day level with business analysts, I think one of the ways is if you were to imagine kind of a stakeholder interview. Imagine AI being able to help you prepare sharper questions or have requirement documents that get drafted in minutes instead of in hours. Or you could even talk about things like analysis that surface patterns that you might have missed. The point isn't necessarily that AI does the job for you. It's that it frees you up to do that deeper, more human work. That is the listening, the clarifying, and the guiding change that only a business analyst can do. So, when we meet in London, I think one of the most important things for all the business analysts to consider is that you have always been change leaders. The opportunity right now is that AI is just that next chapter. And if you're empowered to use it, you aren't just going to adapt to the change, you're going to drive it. And that's what we're going to be talking about in our program at the conference. Is we're really going to be focused on how you can be that leader that is not just somebody who actions with AI, but somebody who leads with it. And that is a great place for all of us to be.